Saturday.
Hey, happy Saturday, my friend. Always a pleasure to see you. I love being greeted by you at the door. It's always just a nice little
Hi.
It's
Hello.
Timothy.
Yes.
Timothy. Good to see you, dude.
Good to see you too, buddy.
Johnny C is me, your old buddy, your old pal. Let's get your starting lineup on a Saturday morning. We'll start with Mike Rauch, the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. He's hiding behind the sun right now. There's a very bright light between you and I, sir. Hello, how are you?
It's I'm on the dark side of the sun or the moon, I guess.
Got you.
Something, but yeah, it's sorry you can't say hi to you effectively.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You
Pleasure
can
to see
just
you.
slide that over, I think.
I guess I could, huh?
Yeah.
Can I?
Watch
Am I going to
this.
affect anything?
Yeah, watch
massively?
this. Boom. Magic. You
Nice.
just moved the sun.
Didn't change anything?
I mean, you look better on camera.
Oh, well, let me do this then. How's that?
Yeah, that's
Even
whoa.
better?
Yeah,
Oh
Nice.
wow. It's
Nice.
lighting the right
that was
side.
the move right there.
Well, now we just
Your
made
good side.
we made the choice of who's the ugliest in here even tougher, I suppose. Hello. Ross Komarinetz. He's with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. We know it's not him because they call him
He's got a nickname.
They call him Hot Ross.
Mhm.
You know that? Have you ever heard that before?
I don't know. I
Here.
feel like he was born with it, so it's almost when I hear it,
maybe it's
feels,
Maybelline.
It feels like a given to him,
Right.
anointed with it.
Like
Hot Ross.
just blessed upon him.
Yeah.
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 It's not one he chose for himself. In fact, I don't know that he necessarily cares for it.
It's
all.
one of those you can't choose it for yourself.
You don't get to choose it for
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
Yeah, there he is. Ross
The
Komarinetz.
hotness chose him.
They sure did. Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. You want to experience some hotness? It's Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. What's up, Ross?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You doing all right?
Yeah, it's
Good.
gonna be an awesome show.
That's
An
gonna be
awesome
fun.
show.
Good. This is the way it starts. Good for me. Always a pleasure to see you, dude. And of course, Jimmy D. He's our fearless leader. 13 plus years now. I've told you he runs a top producing Kellogg team. He is feverishly pecking away right now. So I hope I'm stalling long enough for him. I'm doing the best I can, Jimmy D. I see you over there working.
I see you stringing it out.
As long as I can, man. The Florida Home Pros team, Keller Williams Innovations. Jimmy D, Jim Paola, how you be?
Hey, I'm doing
I was
good.
doing it.
Happy
I was
South
doing it,
Florida,
bro.
everybody. Yep, you're doing good.
I was about to go into my concert
I'm-
last weekend. Like I was about to stretch it out, way out. Talking about lights in here and beautiful people and good Lord.
Okay, I'm good now, Johnny. Thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome.
Hey, everybody on Facebook and YouTube. I know we started about 2 minutes late because I forgot to hit the button. So we're here, we're live, we're ready. So enjoy. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about how mortgage rates hit yearly lows. Almost. Almost. And then also, we're going to talk about Florida. Is it still hot or not? Right? I just thought that's kind of interesting. I'm not talking about the weather.
Well,
And,
Ross is here, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Florida.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
so it automatically makes it hot, right?
Hot Florida.
We haven't done the hot Ross thing in a long time. I still think of that time that Paul Krasker was in that meeting and somehow Ross's name came up
Yeah,
and they called him Hot Ross.
that's
Oh,
where
that's
it came
funny.
from.
And then-
Hot Ross.
That's where it
then,
started, I
then
believe,
Paul
yeah.
said, "Do I have a nickname?" And all the women said no.
Nope.
That was one of my favorite stories. Paul enjoyed that one too.
Yeah, it's
In fact, Paul Krasker is going to be on the show, the office of Paulie Krasker. He'll be on the show either next week or the week after. So I'm
Cool.
looking forward to that.
Counselor.
There's going to be,
Seems like it's been a minute.
that's going to be a very special show, I think, I hope, because what we're going to talk about is, and Ross doesn't know about this yet, but Mike does. If Ross is going to be on the show too, what we're hoping to talk about is condo buying and condo selling and all the rules and regulations, because there's been a lot of changes of requirements for sellers to disclose to the buyer about stuff. And also because of all the regulatory changes, there's a potential that there could be a condo boom coming. I'm calling it the condo boom. I'm making all this up myself because nobody else is saying it.
There's a
Oh,
potential.
But I'm seeing
I
the
mean,
trends. I'm
yeah.
seeing the trends here that it could turn into a little something. Mike might disagree. I don't know. But we're going to talk about the whole condo market, buying in it, understanding financing, understanding the financial security of the condo associations before you buy, and how Mike analyzes that
Mhm.
to make sure that the buyers can get the right kind of loan for the condo. And it'll be a really good show. So
informational.
yes,
But that's
it'll
not
be-
today.
but not today.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but anyway, I'm looking forward
Here's
to
a
it anyway.
tease
I
for
started
sometime
talking about Hot Ross and Paul Krasker went into that. That's just the way it goes.
So maybe next week or the week after.
Yeah, whenever Ross. So is next week the last month of October?
It is the last month. Of
Then
October next week.
then
Nice.
that means then that means, why are you guys laughing? That
That's the
means,
last month of October.
okay, so that means he'll be here next week.
Next
So,
week. All right.
yeah, so we're going to do, so hopefully, Ross, you can make it because we want to talk about insurance
That's when
condos
Paul
too
always
and all
comes
that.
in.
The last
So we
month of
wanna
October.
do
Well,
like
the last month of the month.
Yeah, like a condo
Yeah.
101 primer. We're going to do that. That'll be fun.
Excellent.
Now, let me see. We're going to start out with little shout outs and stuff. This one is, in a way, bittersweet. A lot of really nice, warming things happened, but it was very sad. Rick B has been a long time listener of the show. He's called us up and used a lot of the programs that we've had. He's referred customers to us over the years. And then he called and said he was very sick and he needed to sell his home. It was the log cabin home.
Mm-hmm.
And so we put it on the market. It took a while to sell. The house needed, some significant repairs, so it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. And he had to move because he has a very serious illness. And he didn't know what he was going to do with his dog, Rudy, who has lived on the property his whole life. Rudy's like 8 or 9 years old.
Rudy's awesome, too.
And he's an awesome dog. You met him, Johnny.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
just a
couple
really
times.
nice dog. He's so friendly.
He's so cool.
And he's total outside dog. And how is he so fat for as much exercise as he gets? Because he is kind of hefty for...
You shouldn't be body shaming him by any
I
stretch.
know, I am, but I'm sorry. He seems
not
overweight, but
appropriate.
he's like, it doesn't seem to affect
That's just
him.
his body type.
Yeah, I guess
He's
it is.
actually,
I guess it is.
he's in good shape.
It's
Yeah,
probably
so-
something due to methylation.
That's an inside joke, everybody. So anyway, what happened was we put his house on the market, and he was going through a series of surgeries at the Veterans Administration, and it was really rough on him. And he was bedridden for some of the showings and stuff. It was really bad.
Mm.
Then he got even a worse diagnosis, and he was given a short time to live. So he had to move up to be with his family. And we got the deal closed. Last Saturday, I went to his farewell party. It was so nice to see because he had all his, some of his friends from high school drove all the way from the west coast of Florida to say goodbye.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
all the neighbors and friends and family. He had a nice gathering. We had nice food and got to say, goodbye and everything. And it was just really nice. And the best part was the family that bought the house, it couldn't have been more perfect because the family that bought the house, they knew that there were a lot of repairs, but they didn't want to beat the seller up over it. We got a price. They kind of stick to the price. They didn't go up. They didn't go down after the inspection. It was a pretty rough inspection. And they even said, look, you don't have to take anything with you. Just take whatever you want to take. We'll deal with everything. Don't worry about it. You got bigger things to deal with. And if you don't have anybody to take care of Rudy, we'll take Rudy in, and Rudy will be the compound dog.
That's
So Rudy
amazing.
still got to stay at his house, and I saw him a couple days ago when I took the lockbox off and said goodbye to Rudy.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah. And
Oh.
Rick was very grateful that that the dog was taken care of because he's so sick he couldn't do anything at this point. It was just it's just a bad situation.
Rick had lived there a while.
A long
He'd
time.
worked on it a
Yeah.
lot. Like that was his
Mhm.
baby, and there was a lot of tools and stuff there.
Yes.
Did he
He
leave?
did take a lot of the tool. They did something with the tools because the brother came down, Rob, who was awesome, and Rob was there for Rick the whole way, and of course Rick's significant other, Robin.
Right.
But Rob was there, and he spent like a whole weekend just dealing with the tools I heard in that garage.
Oh, good. So there was
Yeah.
some help trying to get some things that maybe
Yeah.
otherwise he might not have been able to grab.
Mhm.
That's good. That
So,
sounds like a great kind of ending for everybody.
And it was really nice to hear everybody
Start of a
because
new
it was
chapter, I
very
should say.
stressful, and they weren't really happy with the price they got. I'm going to be honest with you. That Rick was very unrealistic as to what he thought the house was worth. You know that, Johnny, because
Sure.
you saw it.
Sure.
And but it wasn't like I don't want to make it sound like it was a hovel or something. It's totally livable and everything. It just needed a lot of deferred maintenance.
It went for about what we were going to offer.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's about what I was imagining it was going to go for. It just didn't quite meet our needs of what we were looking for. I mean, it was really close, but
And the insurance killed it. for
It's-
you,
it's really
right?
what
the
killed it.
insurance really
Whoa,
killed it. It
whoa,
was like
whoa.
yeah, thanks.
Whoa.
Thanks.
Whoa. Come on.
it was almost $1,000 a month for the insurance. So, but anyway, so the good news is everything worked out for everybody. The family that
That's
bought
good.
it really wanted that house. In fact, the cool part
It's a
about
great
it
property.
is the couple that bought it are going to be moving both. Well, I'm going to call them in-laws, but both sides of the parents for both sides of the couple they're all moving into that compound together.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're buying it for family, and they're, it isn't a flip or anything. They're just going in there and turning
That's
it more
amazing.
in a family compound.
I love it.
And the in-laws really get along.
Yeah, I
That-
guess they have
yeah.
to get along pretty good,
Yeah.
right?
Must. Wow.
So anyway, it
Maybe they're from
Rick
West
is-
Virginia.
and Rick is a really good guy, and
Like they're
yeah,
they know each other.
Maybe. Yeah, it's
and
possible.
and Rick's a really good guy, and I'm just glad this all worked out, and it really couldn't have worked out better than it did. And I hope the damn doctors are wrong and that he lives a hell of a long time longer than everybody says, because that can happen.
Of course it can.
So anyway, God bless. The other thing is let me see, where are we? Wow, we're way earlier than I thought we were going to be on the show. I thought this would be at a different point. Let me see. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of houses I have on the market just real quick to round out a couple things just real quick. Because I don't want to get into the other stuff. It'll get too meaty and then we'll run out of time. So the first thing I want to do is talk about one of my properties that's in Lake Osborne, right off Lake Osborne. You guys know that lake, right?
I do.
Over
Yep.
there, over by Lantana and 6th Avenue South. It's over by John Prince Park.
Mhm.
There's a really good single-family home community that's hugging the lake on the east side of the lake. And the lake is very popular, and people use it for boating and fishing and jet skiing and stuff like that. I don't know about jet skiing, but what's the difference? Jet skiing is on the machines, right? What's the regular skiing?
Water skiing?
Water skiing. Yeah, I see water skiing. I don't know if maybe I see jet skis out there. I don't know.
Hmm.
But anyway, it's a very popular area. And this house is only 1 block away from the lake.
Nice.
And it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. And it has been recently just upgraded with a lot of little things. It's had all the ductwork in the whole house has been replaced and taken care of. They put in brand new insulation throughout the whole attic, so it's really energy efficient now.
Awesome.
One of the things I love about this house, it's like an old Florida home, so it's got terrazzo floors, and I just love terrazzo floors, right? And it's a nice open floor plan. And this house has a bedroom with also like a side suite connected to it that you could use as an office or maybe a baby room, or even even if you want to like do an exercise thing or just your own little privacy, like small living room connected to your master bedroom suite. It's got a nice galley kitchen. And I love the Florida vegetation in this property. The property is mostly vegetation. There isn't a lot of like backyard space and stuff, but they do have a lot of walkways with pavers and some trellises. And they've got like very old bougainvillea that is all over the trellises and everything. And all the landscaping is older, so it's nice and mature. Bless you, Johnny.
Thank you.
It's nice and mature. And we just reduced that price on the house yesterday, and we put it down to $430,000.
Mm.
We're already the second lowest priced in the neighborhood, so the sellers are ready to have the house moved. It's turnkey ready to move in. So if you're looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath under $500,000 in a great neighborhood, no HOA.
You're almost
Right.
at 400,000.
Yep. It's closer to 4 than 5 for sure.
Yeah, that sounds
So
awesome.
that's a great affordable home in today's market. So anybody interested in that, please give us a call. If you have friends interested, give us a call. We might even be able to work out some kind of deal where we can get down payment assistance, where we can reduce the mortgage payment, Mike.
Yeah.
So the way that works normally, Mike, is that if you get like a 2% reduction off the price of the home as a seller credit, you can usually get about a 1-point reduction on the loan. Is that about right?
I would say
Those
half
numbers?
a point.
A half
So-
a point
Yeah,
down?
so it's about 1 point in fees to
Mhm.
buy down your interest rate 1/4 of a point.
A quarter
So if you
point.
if you got 2% of money, 2% of the loan amount, you can buy your rate down about
About a half a
yeah,
point.
Yeah.
That would put you into the mid to high 5s, which is a very good rate. We haven't seen the 5s in a very long time. So you can get into the 5s right now. You don't have to wait for the next Fed rate cut, which might be coming out next week. And we don't even know if that's going to affect the mortgage rate anyway.
Well,
So
if
take
anything, we're going to
advantage.
see a dip leading up to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
We'll
then
see.
it'll hold.
Yeah, and we did have a little dip, and we'll talk about that because we had a little dip this week. So that's our first house. The second house I have on the market right now is a fixer-upper. Now, this is a very unusual one because it was in foreclosure, and we kind of got it out of pre-foreclosure right now and into a temporary loan mod. but really we're trying to get the property sold, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, about 1,500 square feet under air. It has a pool. It's on a corner lot in Port St. Lucie. We have it on the market for $250, and at the time that we put it on the market, it was the lowest priced pool home in the city of Port St. Lucie. But since then, Port St. Lucie has seen a lot of price dropping over time, and now we're not even close to being like the lowest priced pool home in the area.
Really?
But this house needs a lot of work, and about $60,000 to $80,000 of work to make it, really a livable home, and to make it qualify for like FHA or VA financing. So because of that, there is an ability to assume this mortgage, and the mortgage is, they only owe about $185,000 on the mortgage, and the mortgage payment is about $1,700 a month.
It's an FHA loan?
It's an FHA loan, but the problem is that Mike had told us, this was months ago, you told us about this, Mike, is that because the house was in such poor condition that you really can't just assume it, right? So what we need is one of two people. We either need a regular first-time home buyer who's trying to get a deal, who doesn't mind fixing up the house, right? You could even turn it into like a YouTube channel about how you're fixing up your house, right? So you could buy the house, and you could even do an assumable mortgage, but we'll have to tell you off air how it'll all work out, because there has to be repairs done to the house before you could even try to get the assumability, okay? So if you could assume the mortgage, that house would be a very good deal. The other way to do it is if you're just a regular buyer, go in there with what's called a construction loan.
Renovation.
A renovation. Yeah, that's a better way to call it.
Yeah,
I always call
renovation
construction loans.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to change my vernacular on that. After 13 years, I'm going to change it. So I used to call everything MIP, right? Mortgage insurance premium instead of PMI, and everybody used to make fun of me.
Yeah.
So everybody, PMI. But anyway, so the other way to do this is just to buy the house regularly, right? And then also get the money for the renovation as part of your loan. And it's all built into one loan.
Yeah.
We were talking to DJ, who might be is going to be turning an offer yesterday on a house.
Okay.
On a condo that Mike is working with. And we talked about a renovation loan. And he was like, is it going to be 2 payments? I'm like, no, it's all rolled into one payment. And he was like, oh, really? So, we're considering that, but I don't know if we're going to go that way.
Yeah, and the key factor with that type of loan is always, is there space for the acquisition costs and the renovation costs? You end up with kind of what we call the after improved value. Is there enough space for all the renos you need to do, right? Because the after improved value basically has to match the market, right? You can't like over improve. You can't put a $500,000 home.
I can't put in my gold toilets.
No, not
with the loan.
Probably not
Darn
even gold plated or gold leaf or whatever. Yeah.
Darn it.
So, but I think this
gold.
house has the space for it, right, Jim? Like if they're finding anyone, you have a house where the acquisition cost is sufficiently below the after improved market value, there's space for the renovation costs.
He's buying it based on what I figured the after repaired value. Like if you were an investor, the after repaired value, he's put in an offer that is 59% of the after repaired value, which is right within what real estate investors are looking for the sweet spot to buy a property. So he's actually buying it at an investment price. Now, this is a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 55 and over unit that needs a lot of work.
I was talking about your pool home still.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That one has enough space in it, right? Like after you fix up everything.
If you fix up everything, if you bought it with the renovation loan and you spent $80,000 in renovation, that's what I budgeted on the property. Not only would you have your equity from the down payment that you put down, your normal equity that you get from just buying it down with your down payment, you'd probably have another 10%, maybe 15% extra equity, right? Extra equity besides your down payment.
Yeah, so perfect candidate for renovation, like a FHA 203K, or even on the conventional side. Even VA has a renovation loan you can do as well.
And we love to work with somebody that wants to be a first-time home buyer and buy that, because we hear so many times that people can't afford stuff, how affordable it is.
Yep.
Well, if you're creative and flexible, you can make it work, and actually make it work in your favor pretty good.
Yeah, to your liking.
Yeah.
Really.
And that gives me the next shout out, I guess, which is Dave. A DJ. So DJ came to us a couple years ago, I think, and said that he was thinking about buying something. He works for one of the local municipalities, and he decided that he didn't want to. And then all of a sudden, he called out of the blue and said, "I think I'm ready right now." And we were like, "Okay, great." We got him over to Mike. Mike gave him his loan options and everything. And then he already kind of picked out, a couple of years ago when we did this search originally, he already kind of picked out the communities he wanted to be in. So we picked the 5 lowest ones in the neighborhood because there were like 15 or 20 to choose from. And he could afford pretty much all of them, but he wanted the lowest ones. And we went in to look at the lowest ones, and he's putting a offer in right now. We put it in yesterday on the lowest condo in that community right now. So hopefully he'll get it. I think that the sellers would be silly not to take his offer because it's been on the market over 200 days.
Oof.
And it needs a lot of work.
Did you offer full price?
I don't want to get into that right now until we get it under contract and get it farther along. I don't want to give up too much because people might be listening. You never know.
Oh, they want to undercut him.
Well, I mean, they've been on the market 200 days. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I also noticed Jim didn't answer the question.
True.
I was being very political there.
Yes, very political.
I'm learning from all the politicians, right? How to answer questions. Don't answer it at all.
Just don't.
Just don't answer it. Just
Thank
don't.
you.
Bring up
Thank you for
something
that
else.
question.
And act angry
Blame
about
Biden,
it. I should have
something.
been angry too.
You should have thanked me for the question to start with, right?
Right.
It's good to be here. Thank you for the
Exactly.
question. Now,
So,
right.
what do we have for lunch?
As I've said before.
So,
The Canes lose last night? Huh.
Yeah. But congratulations to DJ that it looks like he's on his way to be a first-time home buyer.
Let's hope so. That's
and he's what he's trying to do right now is set himself up for retirement. He's a little ways out from that, more than 10 years out, but he's like thinking that way, and he's trying to set himself up, and he's been renting for a very long time, and he's like, I'd really rather just buy something now that I could afford. And his plan is by the time he retires in 10 to 15 years or whatever, that the unit is paid off completely.
That's a great plan.
Yeah, and pay off completely. And he wants something really, really inexpensive because he's shoving a lot of money into other types of investment for his long-term retirement planning.
Good for him.
So this is working out perfect for him. Got fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll have good news by Monday for DJ. Thank you so much for
Seriously.
using our team again. So thank you so much.
And always remember, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com has access to the entire team. I'm talking pros, experts in their field. And when you're buying a home, you're selling a home, you're stuck with a home, you don't know what to do. If you need professional guidance in anything that touches the world of real estate, you're one click away. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. And on Facebook and YouTube, share away. You can change lives, including your very own, with the professionals of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
Thank you, Johnny. A couple other things. We're still trying to raise money. To be honest with you, we haven't got that much of response. I'm actually a little surprised. I thought we'd get a little more response. If anybody can help out the Knights of Pythagoras Mentoring Network, which the short version is KOPMN .org. They have I know Mike's trying to figure out. It's a very long thing. I always joke with C-Ron. I was like, really? That's the name? But C-Ron Allen's the founder of the group. They've been around over 30 years. It's helping kids that they don't have to be at risk or low income, but it's mostly low income at risk kids who are mostly latchkey kids whose parents are working really hard, and the kids are kind of left to themselves during the day. So C-Ron created this group to take those kids and start with more regimented discipline. So it's all about making sure that your number one is that you got to go to school every day. If you're going to be part of this group, you got to go to school and you got to get good grades. And if you don't get good grades, you're out of the program, right? The program doesn't cost the families anything. So all this is being done through charitable work. And what he does is he tries to open them up to completely different life experiences than they've experienced. When he first started this group over 30 years ago, he was basically mostly in Delray Beach on Atlantic Avenue, west of Swinton Boulevard, which is 2 miles away from the beach.
Yeah.
And he had 30 or 40 kids in that program. And not one of those kids had been to the beach ever in their lives. And some of them were 10, 12, 13 years old, right? Never had been to the beach 2 miles away. So that was one of his first things. It was inexpensive. It was a way to open up things. So he started bringing the kids to the beach. It's like, this is your beach too. You can come anytime you want and blah, blah, blah. And then it turned into a bigger thing. And like last week or a couple weeks ago, they were at NASA and
Nice.
they were doing those simulated flights in the space shuttle where they're sitting in the machines just like the astronauts and doing everything that they do. Can you imagine?
That's a cool
They've
trip.
gone to Embry-Riddle and done the same thing for the Aeronautical School up North Florida and did it there.
I always wanted to go to space camp.
Yeah,
Oh,
isn't that,
man,
yeah,
me
space
too.
camp. Wouldn't that
Love
be
that
cool?
growing up.
Space camp.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if kids these days think about space camp like we did.
I think
wonder if it
I
still
think there's a
exists like
group
that.
of them that do for sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and
What if it still exists like that?
I don't even know.
oh, I'm sure
There you
there's
go.
space camp. I'm
Yeah?
sure there's space
You
camp.
would
would
think
hope
now
so.
it might be more exciting than ever.
Way
Right?
cooler,
Yeah,
It's
right?
like,
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get to experience like what it feels like.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
We wouldn't have had that chance as a kid.
No
really.
way.
I mean, unless they put you in like a centrifuge or something.
Right, which they have that to train the astronauts. You saw that on that movie, all the right stuff, right thing. They had this.
Sure.
That
also,
thing
in
where they
spies
spin
like
around
us.
for
Want to get some
G-force,
coffee?
Yeah, that one did not look good. It looked like fun though.
Yeah.
Just
But-
spin you.
Jimothy,
fast as you
Yeah.
you got something?
NASA has one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Space
they, they've got all kinds of different.
Yeah, I
space
would
camp,
assume. I
US
don't think
Space
that's
Camp,
going away.
Rocket
Cool.
Center.
That would actually hurt the country. That's
Space Academy.
the future, right? Those are all the eggheads that are going, and nothing wrong with that. But those are all the smart kids that are going to go and try to figure out the next crazy stuff that we're going through
Yeah,
after
gotta-
AI.
gotta foster
Wonder what's
that.
going to happen after AI. It's like, what's the next thing's going to be, right? It's going to be.
You mean when Skynet takes over? What happens?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
But
know.
getting
Too
back
late.
to
I guess
Yeah,
time
we're probably
travel.
going to send you back in time to
We're gonna
try
have time
stop it.
travel.
Yeah.
After
there
AI.
you go.
Yeah.
We move on.
But getting back to the charity, if you guys could support the charity, it'd be really great. We have a Facebook post on our Facebook page, Florida Talk Real Estate. If you just go there, and even if it's just $5, anything to help. We're trying to raise $1,500. Well, not trying. We're going to raise $1,500 to buy a new computer for the kids, because the kids for over 5 years now have been doing a weekly podcast dedicated, just like what we do. We come here every Saturday. We take time and commitment and do all this stuff, and these kids have the discipline to do that every single week for years and years. But their computer is so bad now, they can't handle the StreamYard, which is what we use to broadcast our stuff. Their computer just isn't strong enough anymore. So, and they're also learning all these special graphics and everything. They need a more powerful computer. So that's what we're trying to do, is raise money to buy them a computer. It'll make you feel good if you donate. So please go out there and try to help out the kids and make a positive impact on your community. It'll make you feel good.
Yeah, even a small donation, if everybody gives just a little bit, it'll go a long way. And there's a link. Is this on the Facebook page?
There's a link on
So you can even share the link. Like, it just doesn't have to sit there. You can hit the share button and send it out to your mass of people. And I mean, it's not like you're hitting them up for charitable things every day. You know, this is a good cause, local too. I mean, it's staying right here. You know exactly where these dollars are going. And if everybody can just give a little bit, it can go a long, long way.
Yes, I appreciate that. And the other thing I'm asking everybody to do is, and I'm going to be pushing this a little harder than normal, so I'm hoping that people can respond. Thank you, everybody who did respond last week. But can you Google Florida Talk Real Estate and go to the Google reviews and give us a review? If you like the show, put in how much you enjoy the show or whatever. It would really help us out a lot to let other people know about our show. We've been on for a long time now. We've helped a lot of people. We're still helping people every day. We love it, but we want more people to help, for all of us, and for you too, and for your family and your friends and your network. So please give us a call. And please go to Google reviews and give us a Google review. Johnny was worried that we were going to get some bad reviews last week. I'm saying it online. I know you're like, Jimmy, what are you doing? But we
Asking
didn't get
for it
any
again.
bad. I'm knocking on the wood. We didn't get
it
any.
wasn't asking for reviews. It was telling them I'm upset about a bad review.
Yeah, it was.
You're like, oh man, don't do that. You don't know this audience
That's
very
gonna
well.
say,
You listen long enough to Real Radio, and you don't do that.
Well, you know what happened after that show? We got a few reviews, all 5-star reviews, which I really appreciate everybody doing that. You don't know how much it matters. One of the bad reviews, I only had 2 bad reviews. One was recently, and that's why I talked about this, and one was from like 5 years ago. That one
Same
disappeared. Disappeared.
Nice.
Oh.
Well,
They took it off.
they probably took it down when I'm.
Yeah, I
That's
think they realized.
right.
I have a feeling that the person that took it down, they were not my customer. They were another agent's customer, but they yelled at me because they weren't happy at the end of their closing.
Right.
Not about me, but about the condition of the house. So they blamed it on me. I have a feeling those people were listening, and no, that were like real now?
Maybe,
And maybe
it's
felt
possible.
bad.
And
'Cause
went,
why would they take it off?
yeah, that's
So
because they realized they
some
were wrong.
people they remember that scene in Top Gun where they flew the tower, right?
they buzzed the
And
tower.
then
Buzzed the
he's
tower.
coming out of he's in the office yelling at him, the tower guy, colonel or whatever it was, and he comes out and then the coffee hits his shirt again. He's just like, I want some butts, right? Like that. So some people get into that mode,
Yeah.
right? Like they're not happy about something. They just want butts. And so they're going to get out
That's
there.
true. I want some butts. That's true.
And they got their butts in a second, right? And the emotion drove them.
Yeah.
And then once they had a second to calm and realize, okay, they went, oh, I'm going to take that down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you for doing that, whoever that is, because I don't remember who the person is. I try to block it out. Of my
Right, and
mind.
I was talking about the first Top Gun.
Right.
Yeah,
not
you were
the-
talking the first
Although
one.
there
yeah.
might have been a similar scene in the.
I haven't seen the remake.
like,
Is it worth
what?
a shot?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
You
see
haven't seen
I
it?
feel like it's the same movie.
I haven't
over
seen.
again.
That's why I
It's like
didn't watch
watching
it.
a new
Yeah.
Titanic.
Okay.
I know how the story
Okay.
goes.
What's wrong with that?
I don't,
Top Gun's one of the greatest movies.
is
You
it?
get to see it from an.
Oh, I should
a
watch
new-
it again. I didn't realize it was one of the greatest movies. Damn it.
Wait, watch it again or watch the new one?
Watch the new one.
Oh, yeah. You're
If
saying
the
plot line?
first Top Gun is
mean,
one of the greatest movies.
It's pretty mid to me.
No
Yeah, that's
way.
why I didn't watch
Wait,
the
what?
remake.
No way.
Yeah,
Wait,
Top
what?
Gun's pretty
Mid?
middy.
Mid.
Yeah.
I think it holds up well.
Oh, that's a good mid movie.
Yeah. There's
It's definitely a fun movie, but
It's
it's, also
fun, yeah.
very predictable.
Yeah,
if
it's
you
not-
were a fan of the volleyball scene in the first one, there's a football
that's the
scene in the
only
second
reason.
one.
to
Oh,
watch
yeah,
it.
see?
Slow down, Mike. Slow down.
Oh, we
Slow
got
down.
to have the little sports
Yeah.
segment here because that's what we did in the last movie, right?
Yeah, the one thing I hold in that's when Kelly McGillis was super hot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I don't know what happened.
I
Yeah.
met her once, and she used to have a restaurant down in the Keys, and Kelly's place it was called.
What
and
year?
I used it. Well, let's see. It was '98. I was getting married, and we had our pre-wedding dinner. What do you call that? The
Rehearsal?
rehearsal
Ah,
dinner. Yeah.
yeah.
You could tell I'm good at marriage.
Right.
So anyway, we had our pre-rehearsal.
It's the pre-divorce.
Yeah, the pre-divorce.
Otherwise known as.
Celebration.
That's funny.
So
that's
Top
funny.
Gun came out what, like 88?
86?
I was gonna say 6.
Yeah, I think they're in that time. Yeah.
So 10 years after Johnny saw her last.
It says 86. Yeah.
Oh,
Well-
86. Good call, guys.
Well, let's go. So please give us reviews. Give
Yeah,
us,
that's
give
right.
us this.
Not butts.
Yeah,
Reviews.
don't give us butts. Give us reviews, and let's go ahead and take a break. And on the flip side, what we're going to talk about first is Florida still hot or not? I think
Nice.
that's kind of interesting because I have some people that have definitely views of what's happening in Florida right now. I'm like, I'm not seeing that right
Well,
now.
it was
So we're gonna
beautiful
take
this
a look.
morning. Not too hot. Not
Yes,
too cold.
it's not
Yeah,
too hot. It
windows
was
down.
perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
talking
it was-
weather, right?
No, we're not talking about it.
Oh.
But yeah.
Well, we'll find out what we are talking about
Yep.
when we return. It's probably some, I'm guessing real estate related. Just a guess.
What makes you think
Yeah, I
that?
don't know. Just a shot in the dark. Remember, if you have a need in the world of real estate, buying a home, selling a home, stuck with a home, and you don't know what to do, Florida Talk Real Estate is your resource. And it's a .com to make it nice and easy. Your one-stop real estate shop. We're on Facebook and YouTube. We talk about hitting the share button. Look, you have a bunch of friends, a bunch of associates, just people that you probably don't have a lot of in-depth conversation with. You don't know what they're going through. Maybe they're looking to buy a home, sell a home. Maybe they're stuck with a home and they don't know what to do. Hit the share button on the socials. You can absolutely be changing lives, putting somebody on a team of professionals. And that's what you need when you're making the biggest purchase of your life, or you're contending with a situation that is really stressful. You need the best of the best. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. At least check them out. At the very least, do yourself that favor. Talk to the team. And you'll understand why I tout it so very highly. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. We're back in 4 minutes. Thanks for being with us every Saturday right here on Real Radio.
The bad news, the brain isn't all that great at hearing stuff and remembering it. The good news, you can watch us too. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Radio 92.1. Real Radio weather.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. Things will continue to be beautiful for the rest of your Saturday. Everything looks pleasant out there, a little bit breezy, so the beach and boating conditions still remain a little bit hazardous out there. Temperatures will remain right below where they should be for this time of year, and lower humidity as well through this afternoon.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rauch from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rauch will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rauch, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Komarinetz, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DePola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
There it is, 877-927-6969. That is a toll-free number. If you want to join the program, we're live on this. It's the 18th of October, if I'm not mistaken. You're welcome to join in. Conversation at hand. If you have a situation you'd like to bring up to the team of pros that are on air today, you're welcome to do that. Of course, if you're not comfortable on the radio, believe me, I understand. Always remember floridatalkrealestate.com. That's your access to the entire team. But if you are comfortable on the radio, dial in. Jimothy will throw you on the air there, won't you, my dude?
Hell yeah. Keep me busy over here.
Sweet. Thank you very much for all that you do. And thanks for being with us on a Saturday, 92.1, 101.7. Of course, we live stream as well. Florida Talk Real Estate on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for being with us. Johnny C., that's me, your air traffic control. Mike Rauch, he's with the mortgage guy with the mortgage firm over there. How are you, dude?
I'm good.
Nice.
I'm great.
It's good to see you, as always.
Yeah, you too.
Did you bring the pumpkin in?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope, that was here.
Nice. Festive in here.
Yeah, it's what is Halloween-ish? Close?
Ish. Yeah, we're close.
Almost in that last, what is it, last month of October?
Last month of October.
Close to Halloween.
Very close. Ross Komarinetz with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. He's in studio as well. Hello, Ross.
Good morning. Good morning.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be here this month.
It's great to have you in at the end of this month, the last month of the month. And Jimmy D's over here too. He's our fearless leader. 13 plus years now. I've told you he runs a top producer at Keller Williams Steel.
He's deep in concentration.
He's concentrating.
I'm having a technical problem right now.
The Florida home roast team.
All my show prep disappeared.
Yeah,
no
way.
The
last one of the month.
That's Halloween for you.
Yep.
It's so rare with Jim too to have something like that happen.
Yeah.
Technical issues. Yeah. We should do a GoFundMe for a new computer for you.
How about a computer brain for me?
Oh
yeah. AI
that's
sidekick.
Nice.
Okay, hold on here for a second. I'm almost there. I know what
you
I
can
do
go see
wrong.
the Wizard of Oz
Just
on the Sphere.
Yeah. Oh, one of my friends. Do a shout out to Victor. Victor, we put his house on the market, sold it in 8 days, got full list price.
Nice.
Went through the inspection, the appraisal got approved this week. He went on vacation with his significant other. He's out running around in Vegas and Reno and all out there. And he just went to the Sphere to watch the Wizard of Oz. He said it was amazing.
Yeah.
That Wizard of Oz thing.
It's cool experience. It's going to be amazing.
Is it the movie?
It is the movie.
But they
version.
changed the movie. So they took the movie and shortened it to 70 minutes or something, but they changed it and they did some AI stuff to make it work for the Sphere.
Yeah.
But it's the Wizard of Oz.
But it has like the full sensory experience. So you have like the shaky during the tornado and your chairs shake.
Stuff
and they have
around.
these gigantic fans that blow at 20 miles an hour. And they actually put leaves into the fans. So the leaves start blowing around in the stadium.
Yeah, you get dirt and stuff in your eyes.
Yeah. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
So anyway, they said it was
full immersion.
They said it was he said it was amazing.
Do they still drop the apples?
I don't. Oh yes, they.
So
he told me about
the
that,
apples drop, and there's like little foam apples.
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool. But I guess people started like diving in, going after the apples like it's a home run ball.
Okay,
right. So I didn't know if they were going to. Yeah,
busting.
It started causing some issues from what I was reading. I was wondering if they stopped that for that very reason. Just hand them out to people, be like, here, everybody gets one. Okay.
People go crazy when it's like
little free stuff,
free memorabilia, but
they're very entitled.
But it's just a foam ball.
I know.
Right.
I want one.
Yeah.
If I'm there,
you do.
Yeah. That's why you should just pass them out. Otherwise, I got to break some lady's hip diving for it.
Mosh pit.
What'd I miss? That's what I get for answering the phone.
Yeah, exactly. You want to take a phone call?
Sure. That'll save the day.
Well, I don't know if it's going to save the day. It's a lot of pressure for this phone call.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's way too much pressure.
No pressure, Joe. No pressure. We got Joe on the line. He wants some advice about paying his house off early. Joe, welcome to Florida Talk Real Estate.
No pressure. Saving the day.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello. Good morning.
Good, Joe.
Good morning. Looking to get my house paid off. Currently owe $83,000 on it. I don't know if I read. I guess is biweekly better, or once a week throw extra money at it. I guess to get the principal down. I guess, and then make my monthly payment as a monthly payment. Right now, I'm paying double every month.
So that bi-weekly method is one that seems to be really popular, Mike. I mean, that seems to be like a great way to shorten your term.
The traditional kind of payment acceleration is, so instead of making 12 payments in a year, you make 13 payments. So you make one additional mortgage payment every year, and that will turn a 30-year loan into somewhere between a 22 and 23-year loan, kind of depending, right? So the key idea is you pay principal down faster than the payment schedule calls for, right? A 30-year mortgage is set up to have 360 kind of equal payments.
Everything you throw at over your monthly nut is principal based.
So make sure when you're making your payment, you want to any additional anything you pay beyond what's supposed to be paid every month will reduce your principal balance faster than the schedule calls for. And if you do nothing other than do that, you're shortening the term of your loan. So you're turning 360 payments into something like maybe it's 359, maybe it's 300, maybe it's 200, right? Depends on how quickly you pay down this additional principal. So a lot of people would get on that kind of make a half of your mortgage payment every 2 weeks, and you end up making 13 payments, right? Because you're doing 26 weekly or bi-weekly installments as opposed to 24. So that's a strategy that people use because you don't feel it, right? It just comes out, you pay half the mortgage payment, you don't feel it. And so it's easy to do. But the concept is just pay the principal down early. So what I would do, was it John?
Joe.
Sorry. Joe, what I would do is I would figure out how quickly do you want to pay off your remaining balance. And I would say that again.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was hoping to get it done in 3 years when I retire.
Yeah. So I would just figure out what it takes to pay off your loan in 3 years. So it's very simple. Take your current principal balance, your current interest rate, put it into a mortgage calculator with a 3-year term, and make that payment every month. Right. So you basically use the mortgage calculator to give yourself a 3-year amortization using the current principal balance, what you owe, the $80,000, whatever your current interest rate is, and just do a 3-year mortgage amortization. And then that's going to spit out a payment. And if you can make that payment every single month for the next 36 months, your mortgage is going to be extinguished.
Nice.
It's going to be done.
That's awesome.
Split that number by 2 to pay biweekly.
Well, you're no longer doing the biweekly thing because you've calculated very specifically what it takes to pay off your loan in 3 years. So you're making a monthly payment. If you accelerated faster than that, then it's going to be something quicker than 3 years.
Is there a chance there's some weird caveat in his agreement that the dollars don't go towards principal? Is there a chance of that?
It would be very uncommon for that to be the case. But I will say this, when you're making your mortgage payment, whatever way you do it, sometimes there's an option to say additional principal. And then sometimes there's like an option to say how to apply the additional payment, right? So additional payment on top of your regular payment, and then how to apply it. Do you apply it towards principal? You can't really apply it towards interest. There's no, you can't do interest. So it's either going towards your principal balance, or if you have some weird escrow situation, maybe you're like bringing up your escrow account to snuff. But so just make sure it's going to principal. By default, that should be happening. But it's worth like watching at least for the first time, just to make sure.
Yeah. That's an awesome plan.
I'd pay them the $620, I guess they owe them every month, and then whatever that mortgage calculator tells me, that'll be put in principal.
Yeah, essentially. So anything beyond, if your regular payment is $620, a portion of that payment is going towards principal, and a portion is going towards interest, no matter where you are in your loan. So anything you pay in addition to that principal, to that payment, will knock down the principal balance, the remaining principal balance. And you're just by shortening the term, like your interest is only calculated on the remaining principal balance after each payment is applied. Right. So you're short circuiting like the term of the loan by paying down principal early, but you save yourself a ton of interest because you're just that interest is never going to accrue, right? Because you've paid down the portion of your loan that accrues interest.
Yeah, what a great idea. And I hope that comes together well for you.
Yeah. The same concept. Like I get people sometimes who say, hey, Mike, should I do a 30-year or a 15-year? DJ is actually a good example of this. And the reason people would do a 15-year loan is all about rate advantage, right? Because you get a lower interest rate on a 15-year loan than you do on a 30-year. If we look at Freddie's report, Jim, the 30-year rate this Thursday was 6.27. The 15-year rate was 5.52. So it's about 0.75, right? So three quarters of an interest rate difference, the 15-year. And it's between that and like a point, just depending on the market. But the 15-year amortization comes with a much higher payment, or, significantly higher monthly payment. And so is it worth that that 3/4 of a point interest rate advantage to kind of lock yourself into the higher mandatory payment? And so when people talk to me, I say, you can always turn a 30-year loan into a 15-year loan by doing just what I talked to about Joe, right? Like calculate the 15-year amortization, make that payment regularly every single month for 180 payments, and your loan is going to be extinguished. But if you happen to run into a tough time, or maybe you just want to redirect some money towards some other project or a vacation or whatever, you can always fall back to the lower 30-year payment if you had to. Similarly with Joe, he could put himself on this kind of like self-imposed 3-year repayment. But if he needed to, he can fall back to his $620 a month payment.
Sure.
Right. And then instead of be 3 years, maybe it's 3 years and 1 month or 3 years and 2 months. Right. So
life happens.
It's nice to be able to do it. It's also nice to be able to not have to do it if times get tough. Now, DJ is a perfect example. 15-year payment is not going to be it's not going to be a problem for him. So he is in a good situation to just take advantage of that lowest interest rate possible.
Yeah, and it sounds like Joe's going to be able to pull this off in 3 years too. That's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like Joe just. I'd be curious, Joe. If, calculate that payment and see how it hits you, and if you think you could do it, do it.
Absolutely. It's funny. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Joe.
I appreciate it, guys. I'll listen on the radio.
Appreciate
Thank you,
too,
Joe.
buddy.
I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. Hey, it's so funny when you were saying all that. That's almost verbatim what I said to DJ when he was asking me about 15 or 30 year. And I go, well, Mike's going to say. And I said exactly what Mike said, but not as informed as Mike.
You might have been listening to me over all these
years.
I
might have heard. I might have learned something along the way. So that's a really good tip for people is that, if you feel that a 15-year mortgage is going to stretch you, but you still want to have less than a 30-year, take the 30-year and then pay it as if you're doing a 15-year or a 23-year, if you will, right? If you just make the one extra payment a year, and then that way you're not obligated to pay the 15-year mortgage payment. You have a 30-year mortgage payment.
It's kind of a voluntary,
and it's a voluntary thing. And that way, if life happens, you don't feel like you're too pressured because of your mortgage payment.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people will like the amortization. It's a big word. Like, how do they calculate the 30 years of payments? What happens with the principal versus interest and what's being paid? Everything. So that part is a little bit complicated, but it is super simple to go into a mortgage calculator. I can, you can talk to me. I can give you access. It's very simple to figure out. Like, hey, you know what I do? I got a plan. I want to pay my mortgage off in the next 5 years, right? Or I want to do it in the next 12 years or whatever it is. If you're in the beginning stages, the 30-year, you just got it, but I want to pay this thing off in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple to go to any mortgage calculator, put in your current principal balance, put in your current interest rate, assuming we're on a fixed interest rate, and just plug in the number of years.
But what do you do about the taxes and insurance part, Mike? So let's say I have a mortgage payment. I'll make it up. Let's say it's $3,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
And then I look on my bank statement and I see what the principal and interest I'm paying out of that $3,000.
Yes.
And the rest is the escrow. So then how do I use the calculator, like a regular generic calculator, to figure out that because of the taxes and the interest, insurance?
You would look at the difference between the payment that you're calculating, which is like your accelerated payoff. So that's going to be a certain number, whatever, call it $1,000 a month.
Okay.
And compare that with your required principal and interest payments. So when you look at your mortgage statement, you're going to see how much is going to principal and interest on every payment. And even though those two numbers relative to each other will change, right? So let's say the combined amount is $800. Well, it might be $700 of interest and $100 of principal. And then over time, it's $600 of interest, $200 of principal, $500, so on and so forth. But whatever it is, it's $800. So if you've calculated that you need to pay $1,000 to pay this thing off, and your existing payment is $800, well, guess what? You're going to tack on $200 to your regular payment every single month. So don't worry about.
Tell the bank that it's to principal.
And tell the bank it's for a principal reduction. Yeah, or apply it to principal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you just find the difference between the two principal and interest payments. Add that to every single payment.
Awesome.
And then your escrows are kind of take care of themselves.
Okay, so
Awesome.
Thank you for the call, Joe. Really appreciate it. Anybody else has any questions? Give us a call. We're live on air. So because of Joe, we're going to do is Florida hot or not on the next segment. So we're going to go into interest rates right now, Mike, because that's kind of a short. I want to make that a kind of a short subject for this week.
Sure.
So I was joking on the headlines and everything that we hit a almost mortgage rate low for the year. And the reason I'm saying that, we're at 6.27, as Mike said, for the Freddie Mac report. And the lowest we've had all year was 6.26, right? So we're basically at the lowest. Yeah.
Come on.
0.01. Nope.
But that was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and it was only 2 weeks ago. So we're hovering right around 6.25 to 6.30 for the last 3 or 4 weeks. That's the lowest we've seen all year. And it probably goes back how far, Mike? Because 6.0
So last time
was
we were
November.
below that.
Yeah, when was that?
So now we're, like you say, all year. Well, last time it was 6.12.
October of last year.
October 3rd.
Of last year.
October 3rd last year. It was 6.12. So we're at the lowest in a year, almost.
No.
Right? Because if we expand to like a year and a couple weeks.
Oh, right.
It was lower, right? if we talk about 2 weeks ago, which was the lowest,
right?
But 2 weeks ago, it wasn't the lowest in a year. It was
the
second lowest in a year.
Yeah. So we're kind of flat right now for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Now the Fed's going to come out next week and decide if they're going to do another rate cut. The conventional wisdom is they're going to do another quarter point and maybe another quarter point in December. And then they're going to figure out what's happening after that. That's what the theory is right now. I'm pretty, not that I'm agreeing or disagreeing, but I'm pretty in agreement with the conventional wisdom that they're probably going to do a quarter. Agreeance?
Agreeance is
what
the
did
word.
What it was the word I used?
Well, ever since George W. Bush, it's been agreeance.
Oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, I miss all his Greekisms. Right.
Well, that one stuck around. Agreeance is stuck.
Yeah.
I totally stole.
Well, that's kind of like Bigley, right? Bigley. Remember Bigley, right? Wrigley agreeance. So
conversate.
Yeah, conversate. Yep.
Jimmy's like, what's wrong with conversation?
Axing a question. I got to ask you a question.
Ooh, that's a little more historical there.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
That's not George W. Bush.
No, that's an elder Bush.
It's just butchering of the English language for anybody. It's cross cultural. Okay. But anyway, getting back to the interest rates, they've been flat for a couple of weeks. We think the Fed's going to cut the rate. That does not necessarily mean that the interest rates are going to drop. We did see interest rates drop leading up to the last cut.
Yep.
But we're only a week out now, Mike. I think next Wednesday or Thursday is when they're supposed to decide.
I mean, it's only been 2 weeks since the last decision. So
yeah,
what's going on with
I have
schedule?
a feeling that the mortgage rates really aren't going to change much on this rate cut.
I mean, it's so hard to predict here, Jim. We were at 6.26 was the low, which was leading into the week that the Fed made the decision, right? Because they're basically the mortgage rates were like, all right, we're pretty sure the Fed is doing this thing. It happened. And then the next week it went up.
Yeah, it went up a little bit.
6.26 to 6.30. And then the week after that, it was up 6.34. And now we've got, ripples.
Oh, I forgot about the 6.34.
The Fed's going to do it again.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we got a little dip and we're down to 6.27. So I think that there's a little bit of headline, news cycle chasing, or I don't know if it's leading out. It's just like hand in hand. I would hate to make a prediction on where it's going to be.
Yeah. I don't
before the next rate.
I don't think it's going to affect anybody trying to go out and get a loan unless you're at the upper limits of your budget.
We're not seeing the type of movement that's going to make or break
like
you. But I'll tell you what, if you're in this place where you're potentially locking in an interest rate,
yes,
meaning you're actively shopping, you're basically about to get in contract, or maybe you're in contract and maybe you're already locked in, looking at a float down or whatever. This is probably going to be a little piece of good news for you, but you got to strike while the iron's hot. Like we just saw it. Like the lowest was leading up to the Fed decision, and then the next week it went up incrementally, like tiny. But
it didn't go down; it went up.
It didn't go down; it went up.
Right.
And so, I wouldn't sweat it too much. I would hate to be.
Interest rates should not be your decision on buying the home right now,
especially with the type of movement we're seeing.
Yeah, exactly. It's so negligible. It's basically that should be not a factor. It should be other factors for you. So let's go ahead. I just wanted to get that wrapped up. So there is one call to action, I think, that is legit. If you got a mortgage at some time in November of 2023, when the interest rates were 7.79 for the Freddie Mac, which means people were paying in the 8s, for real mortgage rates. This may be an excellent time for you to consider a refi. It might be worth it for you. So give us a call. Let Mike analyze it and figure it out for you.
Yeah, you're kind of in that 1.5 to 2 point maybe range. That's even. Huge. And so that's 2% better on a refinance. And so there's this mental thing where like I would go from 7 to 7 point something to 6. So it's it's not like super appealing. Like you're still going to have a 6% interest rate, but if it's 2% better, that's where you start to check what I would call both goals on the refinance. One is a lower monthly payment. 2 is to pay less interest over the life of the loan. And at 2%, you start getting to where you're accomplishing both of those goals. Where less than that, you're getting one or the other.
How close would a reduced term and lower interest rate be compared to longer term and like that big of a spread? Because you were talking about down to like 5.5.
Yeah, so if
on
you,
like a 15.
Yeah, on a 15
versus an
if
8
you're
on a 30?
so
Wow.
that goal on a refinance. Whenever I talk to people about refinance, I'm like, what are you trying to achieve with this? Sometimes it is the budget's really tight. We need to consolidate debt. We need to get into the lowest monthly payment possible. And I'll say, okay, that's sometimes the opposite of achieving not paying so much interest over the life of the loan. What you're talking about, Ross, is I don't like paying interest. I want to pay the least amount of interest possible over the remaining life of this loan. Let me refinance into the lowest interest rate I can and the shortest term that I can. So my payment's going to go up.
It might be the same though, because you're
It
at
might be
8%.
close. That's true. That's
know?
true. So you,
That's why
I mean,
was
if you're, and that's so that
Real
that
close.
spread. So if you can get to 5.5,
From
that's more from
8.15 or
right?
something. Yeah,
you might have space to go to the 15-year term and still have the same monthly payment.
exactly.
Would that be the most amazing?
That would be
refi
awesome.
ever?
That's so
right?
awesome, Jace. Because the other thing, we're just going to blow through. We're going to continue, okay? Because we're already past. So
You thought this was going to be quick.
Oh, actually, it's only 2 minutes left. Let's just go ahead and take the break now. We're going to flip. I just want to make one point on this, and
Okay.
then we'll go into Florida hot or not.
Yeah.
The
refinance spread,
real estate,
Best
interest,
refi
buy or
ever.
sell a
Never mind.
home.
Let's take the break.
Well,
I'm shot. I
interest
don't know.
rate.
I don't know the point I'm
He
trying to
lost
make.
it.
It
He
can't
had
be
it.
that good.
Oh, that was going to
It's
be an
some kind of
epiphany.
call to
All right,
action.
you know what? We're not going to go. We'll go. We'll go. Actually, go as soon as I make this point.
The call to action is, you're actually going to start because of this rate movement. You're going to start, if you have a mortgage, you're going to start getting kind of like bombarded with, hey, refi. So I would just encourage you to talk to a trusted source. Doesn't mean you have to go with me, right?
Yes, you have
But
to talk
to me,
Mike.
like, let's do a little analysis. I'll talk to you about the way that I approach refinances, which is what goal you're trying to achieve. Is this going to help you achieve that goal? It's very easy to kind of smoke and mirror somebody into thinking they're really doing a good financial decision, and it's really probably not so, right? I talked somebody out of refinance just this past week, right?
Mhm.
For a number of reasons, right? VA, cash out, like, okay. So just, you have to be able to talk to somebody who knows the business and can give you good advice, and then just like decide what you want to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
simple. And I hope you caught that point. Mike talked somebody out of actually putting money in his pocket. This
Yes.
week. Yeah. That's because it wasn't in their best interest.
I don't like to think
Exactly.
about it that way.
Well,
but
that's the way it is, my friend. I hate to
Oh,
frame
I
it that
did
way
that?
for you.
Oh, that's what I
But
did.
you didn't get those dollars.
You better call him after the show.
You know what? I've been
Wait a
thinking about it.
Yeah.
You probably should refi, actually.
There was this one benefit that we forgot to discuss. Right?
FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. You have a team of pros, and talk about like-minded. It is about making relationships, making sure you're on the right path. You have the right information to make the right decision, and then boom, you're instantly associated with a wonderful professional that's giving you amazing guidance and is going to make sure the process is as smooth as can be. You get it all. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Know it, use it, love it, share it on Facebook and YouTube. Hit the share buttons. You never know. You can change lives, including your very own. And somebody you don't even know, you're changing their life. They'll thank you one day, though. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. We're back in 4 minutes. Thanks for being with us every Saturday right here, Real Radio.
When the smart speaker you gave your parents eventually becomes yours. Tell your smart device to play Real Radio 92.1 on iHeartRadio. Here's what's happening with the weather on Real Radio.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. Things will continue to be beautiful for the rest of your Saturday. Everything looks pleasant out there. A little bit breezy to the beach, and boating conditions still remain a little bit hazardous out there. Temperatures will remain right below where they should be for this time of year, and lower humidity as well this afternoon.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rauch from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rauch will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rauch, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Komarinetz, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That guy, ESDR, put his mind on ESDR and that's
WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeart radio station.
That's what he said. He's saying that's why he's
Free new and improved iHeartRadio. Listen for all your music,
Look at it,
video,
because I
never sounded so good.
No. Linda? Joe was in the bio. No, not Linda. They used to be.
This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim Paul and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
I'll say it again, 877-927-6969, toll free on Saturday. It's October 18th. It's almost 10:10 in the morning. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate you on the old terrestrial radio. Maybe you're on the app, live streaming with us on Facebook or YouTube. Florida Talk Real Estate on both. We appreciate you very much. We is Jimothy, our producer extraordinaire. What's up?
And good morning, gentlemen.
You've been fielding some phone call or two over there. Evidently, the phone lines are working.
They are?
927-6969.
I was talking to somebody just
Jimothy, appreciate you putting it to work. Look at that. Still working.
What is that?
Dial tone.
It's just about like our generation.
I don't know that.
The young kids out there.
Hey guys, that's a dial
tone.
I was talking to somebody. Just,
no internet.
This is Mike, by the way.
Yeah, I'm Johnny C. That's Mike Rao, the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. He was just talking to somebody.
Just about like our generation and kind of the technological advancement that we went through from basically no internet, barely any computers at home. Like when we were all born, there was no computers in the house. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe Ross. I don't know how old he is. How old are you, Ross?
Yeah, they came up. They're like, you remember?
Oh, so we're the same age then. Yeah.
So
he
yeah,
thinks
but-
you're older. He thinks you're older than him.
I know.
I thought he was
What's
younger.
that? What's that?
I thought he was
What's
younger.
wrong with
Yeah,
that?
he was thinking he might have
Computers,
killed himself.
internet.
So hot.
But yeah, so you had computers as a teenager.
Yeah, they came
Yeah,
up.
you had
Like
your
you
own-
remember, they had
was it a
Apple was a
laptop?
big sponsor of
Exactly.
computers in the schools,
Sure.
and then
You
of course
remember
into the
sitting
whole
in
cell
front of
phone
like your
thing. So
your
computers, internet.
monitor, your
I got my first
friends,
computer when I was a sophomore.
your friends whose dad had the computer. And
laptop.
No.
Exactly.
A gateway desktop.
When
Do you
I
remember
was
sitting in front of like
when I was in
your
college,
monitor or your
right when I'm in
Your
college,
playing
when I was
Tiger
in
with golf,
college,
your
I had
friends,
to sit in
your
the
friends whose dad had the computer, and you just sitting there waiting for like 3 minutes for an image to load on the screen.
Yep.
You guys are lucky you had that. When I was in college,
Right.
right? When I'm in college, when I was in
Horse and
college,
buggy.
I had to take computer science or whatever as part of my business regimen or classes. And you had to use the cards, the punch cards, and then you'd have a shoebox of all the punch cards, and they had to all line up perfectly, or the program wouldn't work. Right? And I'm dyslexic. I had no idea what I was doing. That's what got me out of the business school, was that class. I was so done with business school after that class.
It's like, this computer stuff is not working with my
I went from
dyslexia.
like
Let me write
I went from like a solid A average, like a 3.637 GPA or something at University of Florida.
Go Gators.
And then I went down into the twos because of that class just drove me crazy, and then I got sick of it. And then I went into journalism.
There you go.
And then I went into a completely different career. But I'm glad I had that business background in college, because it did help me once I started going to real estate. So I was going to run my own business. So it did help me in the long run. But all those stupid cards that we had to learn on, what a waste of time, right? Because that's so outdated now. Can you imagine that they used to have to do that? Thousands of cards.
That shows you how far things have come.
No,
Oh
but
my
the
God.
fundamentals are still the same.
I don't care. I don't want to know how the. I don't want to know how the sausage is made. I don't want to know how the sausage is made. I want to click the button and it happens.
Very interesting. I've been talking to a lot of people.
Rocky
Marinetz.
sausage.
Right?
Rocky Marinetz, Brighter Insurance, Juno Beach. He's right there.
Oh, hey.
Mayor
And
Madami,
he's the one
if this
who's
guy
learning
wins
all
the
them
mayorship,
cards.
Madami,
Starting to flunk out of UF because
Because of that.
Jim DePola.
So let's talk about. It's very interesting. I'm talking to a lot of people from up north, right? That are saying, "Oh, if this mayor Madami, if this guy wins the mayorship Madami, there's going to be this rush, this tremendous rush, like a COVID-like rush of people coming to Florida, right? And that's the new theory right now. I'm hearing it all the time, and
I heard an interesting take on that just yesterday.
and I look at him and I don't really want to say anything because nobody really knows, and they could be right. That could happen, but I don't think it's very likely that that's going to be a COVID type of event where you're going to have that many people rushing down here. That COVID event was like probably a once in a lifetime thing that we're never going to see. It's almost going to be like the 2.71 interest or 2.65% interest rates. But people will never forget about those 6.5 interest rates. 50 years from now, we're going to go, remember that interest rates
right? I'm just saying, anecdotally,
but and they're still coming. They're still coming. So the thing is I wanted to see, because of all this talk, is Florida still a super hot state for people to come? I'm seeing a lot of people leaving Florida, right? I'm just saying anecdotally from the people that are calling me, I have as many people saying they want to leave as many people want to buy there.
I'll tell you what, man, if the predictions of the mass exodus, if an election goes a certain way for the mayoral candidate in New York, and the people want to leave, that's going to be a perfect marriage of, you know,
it's crazy.
the southern borough growing even better.
So we down or we up. Florida has always been a great state, you know, since at least the 70s, because I've been living down here since the 70s.
It's a totally different state as far as population.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Late 70s.
I remember that we were at 11 million, 11 million residents right now. Now we're up to almost 23, 24 million residents.
Yeah.
You know,
From when to when?
From basically late 70s to now. We're at we've more than doubled in that time. I remember when I was a newspaper reporter in the late 80s and early 90s, and the number back then was 14 million, right, for the total population of states. And we grew by 10 million since 1990. Okay.
Pretty consistent,
So
but they're not
I
exact.
wanted to do
Okay,
some
so here's a
searching.
couple
So
of
I
things
got a
to
bunch
read
of
about.
studies, and they're not
Overall
all
growth.
exact. You know,
Florida added
surveys about what's happening in Florida, specifically about
467,347
migration
newcomers in the
and
past year,
going in and out.
which is
And
data, which is for
the
which
stats
data is
are
available. So this is
pretty consistent, but
2024.
they're not
Okay.
exact. Okay, so here's a couple of things just to read
No,
about.
actually, they're
Overall
not.
growth.
Most of the
Florida
people that are
added
moving, the biggest migration in Florida right
467,347
now is
newcomers in the
Central
past
Florida
year,
and
which
smaller
is data,
cities like
which is
Lakeland
for
and
which
like
the data is available. So this is
interior
2024.
cities.
Okay.
And they all came to Palm
That
Beach
is
County,
actually
didn't
more
they?
popular.
No,
Orlando right now
actually,
is
they're
more
not.
popular
Most
than
of the
Miami,
people that are
PSL.
moving,
Lauderdale, West
the
Palm
biggest
Beach,
migration
moving
in
to Florida.
Florida right now is Central Florida and smaller cities like Lakeland and like
It is, but it's still, but
interior
Orlando is
cities.
still a slow pocket. Like
That
we're
is
having
actually more
slowness now
popular.
here,
Orlando
not as
right
bad
now
as
is
the
more
West Coast where
popular
the
than
hurricanes hit.
Miami
That's
or
like
Fort
that.
Lauderdale or West
Okay,
Palm for
we're
people
slow.
moving to Florida.
Oh, and
Orlando's
you should.
slow.
I mean, it's just building.
Fort Myers
They're
is
just
dead.
building so
Right,
much
that
up in
means
the middle of the
as
state.
far as
It
New
is,
York
but it's
City
still,
people
but
are moving to
Orlando is still a
Well,
slow
yeah,
pocket. Like we're having
they're saying
slowness
that a
down
lot of New
here,
York
not
City.
as bad
Now,
as the
what's
West
the
Coast
number
where the
one
hurricanes
state
hit. That's like dead.
or the
Okay.
top
We're
states
slow.
that are
Orlando's
moving
slow.
here right now?
Fort Myers
Number
dead.
one, you'll
Right.
never
I
get
mean,
to
as
in a
far as
million years.
You're saying
Number
New
one,
York
moving
City
to
people are moving to
from
Orlando?
Well,
another
yeah,
state. What's
yes,
the number
they're
one
saying that
state
a lot of
that
New York City.
is
Now,
not
what's the
state
number
with
one
Florida?
state or
You'll
the
never get
top
to in a million years.
states that are moving here right now?
Yep, you do.
Number one, you'll never guess it in a million years. Number one, when you
Moving
think
to
of
Florida
moving to
from
Florida from another state, what's the number one state that has
New
more
Hampshire.
people from that state
Right, I
moving to
told you,
Florida?
never in a million
never
years,
guess
right?
it.
You'll
Yeah.
never guess it in a million years.
it's
I
gotta
mean,
be
I got a
Oregon.
1 in 50
I know, like,
chance.
they don't
So,
have that
Yeah.
I mean,
right?
that's
They don't
that.
gotta
I
be-
get it in
it's
millions.
gotta be Hawaii.
Okay, what do you think?
Arizona.
Nevada.
No, Ohio.
Utah.
New Hampshire.
Where?
Right, I told you,
Oh.
never in a million
Live
years.
free or
right?
die.
But they
Yeah,
can't,
they're moving
they
around
can't
where
afford to
everybody
lose that
moves,
many.
I'm moving.
I know, right? They don't have that many people, right? That'll be a zero
The New
population.
Hampshireites, they're like, yeah, go
So
on.
it's
Go
I was,
on,
born, I was
get
born
it.
in New Hampshire.
it's
Um,
New
Are you?
Ham-
Yeah.
It's
What are you?
You're
You led the migration.
I did. I started it. Yeah, they're following me.
yeah, they're moving around wherever Johnny moves. I'm
Nearly
moving.
90%
So it's New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, California.
Okay.
Those are the top four states. Okay, now
as far as the rebuild and
the
people
top
moving there.
in-state destination is
Orlando home
Orlando, with
prices are about
60% more
42%
inbound
lower than
moves than
Miami.
Jacksonville,
I wonder
and
why the
nearly
New Yorkers are
90%
moving
more than
to
Tampa,
Orlando
because
and not
Tampa is
Miami.
one of the areas that's dying right
42%
now
lower.
because of the
Yeah.
hurricane, all the problems
They
with the
also say
hurricanes and
that
everything.
what they like
is
about
for
Orlando
rebuild and
specifically,
people moving there.
high-speed
Orlando
Brightway
home
trains,
prices are about
goes
42%
down here
lower
too.
than Miami. I wonder why the
Some
New
of the
Yorkers
reasons
are
why
moving
they're
to
going to
Orlando and not
Miami,
Miami.
to Orlando, because
42%
they,
lower.
they feel like they can hop
They
down to
also
Miami.
say
if
that what they
want
like
later.
about Orlando
I
specifically is
don't
the
know.
high-speed Brightway train, which goes down here too.
They said that that's what people. That's
Some of the reasons why they're going to Miami,
number one.
to Orlando, because
Yep.
they
Because
can,
Brightline.
they feel like
And
they
then,
can hop down to Miami if they want later.
Have they tried it yet?
Easily.
The
I don't know.
The governor's
Oh,
trying to
the ones
put that
with the
little
most movement.
that
So
pocket
where are the
between
ones where people
Orlando
are
and
moving
Tampa in, right?
moving
Too, isn't he
and
trying to
moving out at a
make it
super
smoother for
high rate?
I-4?
That's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ocala,
And then,
and the villages.
let me
Now, I
see.
know what's happening
Highbound.
with
What's
the
the
village.
speed?
I wonder if
Highbound.
Brightline
A lot of people are complaining.
funded
I'm
this
seeing a lot of
Oh,
research paper.
the ones with the most movement. So where are the
happy
ones
there
where people are
anymore.
moving
Some
in and
people
moving out
complain
at a
that the rules
super
are
high
too
rate? That's
strenuous.
Kissimmee,
Come on, give me a break.
Ocala, and the
Other people
villages.
are complaining that
Now I know what's happening with the
they didn't
villages, because a
understand
lot of
when
people are
they bought
complaining.
the
I'm
new
seeing a lot of
construction
negative
rules,
headlines about the villages
that
lately,
tax
that people are
weren't
not
set
happy
right.
there
Yeah,
anymore.
and then when they actually
Some
get the
people
real
are complaining
tax
that the
bill
rules
after
are
they moved in, like 9
too
months later,
strenuous.
they're
Come on,
out.
give me a break.
Like
Other
somebody
people are
told me,
complaining
my
that
tax bill.
they
And that
didn't
means that they have
understand
really
when they
bad
bought the
agents
new
or no agents
construction
at all
home
going directly
that
to
the
developer
property
who is telling
taxes
you all that
weren't
CBD.
set
stuff.
right. Yeah,
Mm.
and then when they
Okay.
actually get
They're
the
good
real
people,
tax bill
right?
after they move in, like 9
I'll
months
take you
later, they're
better.
having a conniption fit because like nobody told me. money,
Oh,
my
they're
tax
with
bill.
good people.
And
That's
that
smart.
means that they have really bad agents or no agents at all going directly to the developer who isn't telling you all that stuff. Hint, hint.
So in
Okay.
South
Hire
Florida,
good people.
Florida
Right?
Talk
while
Real
some
Estate
South Florida
Oh,
cities
thank
like
you, Johnny.
The
Hialeah
loop
and Miami Gardens
colors are a little confusing.
fewer inbound moves.
You don't know what I mean?
Got to get a little
Boca
card,
Raton,
pull it out of your
Delray,
pocket, be like, what is
Pompano, and
ooh,
Palm Beach
fuchsia
remain
yellow.
popular
All
for those
right.
relocating.
So in South
For-
Florida, while some South Florida cities like Hialeah and Miami Gardens are seeing fewer inbound move requests, cities such as Boca Raton, Delray, Boynton, Pompano, and Palm Beach remain popular for those relocating from denser cities or looking for coastal living. So it's interesting that the people that live in denser cities, that being New York, like New York, New Jersey,
people down here.
They prefer to live in the southeast part of Florida. I thought that's kind of interesting. So the New Yorkers and the New Jersey,
they come to Palm Beach County. They come to Boynton, Boca, Del Rey, right?
Yep, they do. And I think that's kind of interesting. So that tells me that the New Hampshire people, that's not denser cities up there. So they're probably the ones that are more likely to choose Central Florida and things like that. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Oh, you mean dense like population? Sorry.
No, I
That's
didn't
funny.
get what you were saying before when
I was
you were
like,
saying
man, we
that.
don't need more stupid people. We
It's like,
got
what is
plenty.
I thought you were just talking about New Yorkers.
You know, it's funny, Jim. So even
That's why I ignored it. I was like, I'm staying away
No,
from
you're
that
talking
one.
population density. I thought you were taking shots at folks.
even if there isn't like a huge exodus from whoever's under the jurisdiction of the New York City mayor, I don't know. Like, is that all the
I don't know.
boroughs?
I don't know if they'd have all the boroughs.
All the boroughs. I don't know what's like under that umbrella, but it may not be a mass exodus, but they all might be coming to Boca, right? Or like Boynton, right? So it might feel like, oh, look at all these, because they're coming to this little pocket in Palm Beach County, which, you know, if you happen to be working those neighborhoods in that area, could feel pretty good.
Exactly. Now, reasons for moving. Snowbirds, retirees, and families are still attracted to Florida's warm climate and tax benefits. However, factors like high home prices, rising insurance costs, and dense development are prompting some to explore other cities that are quieter in the state.
Yeah, I love it. They always think they're attracted to the heat until they come down and actually experience it.
And then they go, it's so hot down
it's
here.
so hot. It's like,
Yeah,
wait a
it's
minute.
like, yeah.
In the survey, you said you were attracted to the heat.
I did a couple a purchase for a couple who retired. They were in like the Maryland area, and they were coming down for, you know, they were snowbirds, and they were like, all right, we're finally retiring, coming down to Florida. And this was right when it started raining every single day, very heavily here. Like, so like it's September, right? And they're like, hey, welcome to Florida. Pouring rain every single day, puddles in your yard.
Hey, we just found out your neighborhood floods.
Sunshine.
It's like usually it happens a little bit earlier in the year, right? So you just this year is a funky one.
So, so the bottom line is what they said: for every one person leaving Florida, 1.1 people are moving in. So we're still seeing a positive increase. Now that tells me 10%, right? Right, 1 to 1.1.
What's 0.1 of a person?
I know,
Okay.
I know, but wouldn't that be 10%, right? 1.1 versus 1.
It's 10% higher.
Right,
Yeah.
but the thing is, so
Oh,
I
hold
always
on.
think that we're seeing 10% increase. I thought, but
No,
the
it's
statistics are showing that
it's a tenth of a percent.
Oh, a tenth. Okay.
Right?
So what they're saying is that Florida's increasing
tenth of a
between
percent.
1.5 and 2% are the studies I read. They're predicting that we're growing by 1.5 to 2% right now, which is actually very slow for Florida. So we are not in some kind of mass exodus anymore. That was all over. People are still living that way, and they still think that way. And it's very interesting to me because it isn't really about what's happening right now. It's what they experienced before, and they liked it, so they want it in their head, and they keep it there, right?
Yeah.
And that is not the reality. And the other thing that we talked
Well,
about,
affordability of where most people want to move to isn't really there.
right? And
I mean,
that's the big thing. And people, so Florida is, in my opinion, Florida is still hot, but not as hot as it used to be, if that makes sense. And it could get hot again.
Oh, yeah.
So would you say we're kind of in the October-ish?
Yeah, we're kind of like spring. We're in fall, but not winter and not summer.
It could get hotter in October.
It sure could.
It's certainly not cold.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a couple months left.
Well,
in October,
and I think there's going to be things that are going to help it get stronger again. One of the things is when we're talking about affordability, we're seeing insurance rates drop dramatically. Please call Ross for insurance quotes. I think we sent 2 people, Adam and Eric, over there recently. I think both of them are getting
some good
lower
numbers.
rates. Yeah, lower rates than they had. So I appreciate you calling out. It's helping you save money. It's awesome. Thank you, Ross.
FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Yeah.
Are you seeing a trend with your, like when you're repricing policies, Ross? Are you just seeing a trend where it's like more options, better carriers, or definitely like premiums available, below your current premium?
A mix,
Okay.
like maybe sometime the renewal wasn't that bad. It didn't go up that much. So it's still the best bet. In some cases, just because we had a couple new carriers come on where, we may have a little bit more competitive premium, but,
For apples to apples. It's
yeah.
not
Yeah.
crazy, but not crazy increases.
Well, like yesterday, somebody sent me something. They're doing a refi and they needed something, see if there's anything cheaper on an apples to apples basis. I think they were paying like $9,800 and we were $75.
Okay.
So it was a pretty good saving.
Yeah.
On that one. And then, but I mean, also, other times we're shopping, some of our own clients, and hey, you still got the best bet. So it's kind of a mix.
Yeah,
but it never hurts to check.
But that's way better than a year and a half ago. I mean, you look like you wanted to commit Harry Carey every time you came to the studio back then. It's like, oh my God, I hate my career right then. So it's way better than it was. Is it optimal? Not yet, but we're having a very good hurricane season right now, meaning no hurricane season. So if that continues this whole year, I would expect that the insurance companies are going to see we're going to continue to see rates drop until we start getting hit with some natural disasters again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that'll,
Continue.
if we don't have any storms or anything like that, that'll definitely affect reinsurance rates, which is a big component of what we have to pay.
Exactly.
Or do you see, Ross, like, I know they have to submit their rates for the year, right? Like if you're the insurer and you're submitting to the whatever oversight is, can they adjust those rates like throughout that?
Yeah, they can
year?
file new rates anytime
they want.
Yeah.
So you just have to get them approved at some level before they're out there. Okay. All right. So they can put in reduced rates mid-year.
Yeah, I mean, so many companies are, right now or over the last couple months have, they'll send out the email blast to us like, oh, we're having a rate reduction, and it'll say average of whatever percentage for the state. And then sometimes you dive a little closer in and it's like 2% for Palm Beach.
Nice.
Hey, that's a reduction. It's better than a 40% increase.
Yeah.
That we were seeing.
Get those headlines and then the devil's in the details, Jim.
Somebody's getting a 50% decrease, somewhere in the state.
The one example he just gave us with the person that just got the reduction, that was savings almost $200 a month on his mortgage payment just by reshopping it and making sure. So there are savings out there. Try to, if you feel strapped, there are ways. Ross is a great way to get a reduction in your mortgage payment without having to go through a refi or anything. Right?
Yeah, true.
It'll save you just a little bit of money, and why not? And all it takes is an email. Like, hey, here's my address. Can you give me a quote? Sure, no problem. Ross gives you two quotes. And then boom, you have your answers whether you should go or not.
There should be a lot of analysis and even like underwriting approval type analysis on whether or not you can actually refinance, right? Market conditions are important. Your own financial health is important. Shopping your insurance rate, there's none of that, right? Mm-hmm. All you got to do is call Ross and he'll work it up and say, yeah, you can save money or not. And there's no pain to that. The worst case scenario is you're going to say, hey, you're good with what you got.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jeez. Seems super simple. Johnny,
it does.
Super simple.
It does. It's
so if you have any,
as it can be too.
Yeah. So if you have any questions on that, all you got to do is reach out to us, and we're there for you. We'll get you the quotes that you need really, really fast.
On Facebook, on YouTube, you have lots to consume. You can even reach out on Facebook. But remember, if you go on floridatalkrealestate.com, there's a hotline. You can call it 888-973-7828. Contact page. Fill out that contact page with your information. We'll get in touch with you. We'll get the information over to Ross or the professional you need and get the ball rolling on what you're trying to get done.
Absolutely. Wanted to switch gears here a little bit and talk to people that are thinking about moving in early 26. So if you're thinking about selling your home, January, February, March of next year, you really should start creating the plan now. The market can be very good for sellers that are doing the right things and pricing it correctly. You can still sell your house within a reasonable amount of time and get the price that you're expecting to get, as long as you're reasonable and you know your numbers really well.
Right.
And a lot of people start thinking that it's not a good time to get ready now. Oh, I'll deal with this in January. But the market right now, I feel like the market conditions, even though that we've been pretty stable for the last 7-8 months with the interest rates and everything, and the amount of sales have been kind of flat, and it's been giving buyers that edge. But these are the reasons why you should consider, if you're thinking about selling in January, February, why you might want to put your house on the market or get ready to put it on the market earlier than you think. Here's a couple of reasons why. Number one, the holiday season is traditionally slower. So people say, I don't want to put my house during the holiday season. Nobody's going to see it. Well, yes, you're going to be seen, and people that are looking are going to come out and see your house during the holidays. The thing is that there's less homes available at that time. Even in this lower inventory, our inventory shrinking again. We ballooned up and we're shrinking back.
Is it?
Yeah, it's been shrinking a lot lately, a tremendous amount. We talked about that while you were gone on all your vacations, Mike.
So I
So we
missed all
talked
that.
about all that stuff. So you're behind the times.
Jeez.
But with the holiday season, the people that are going out to look at your house are very serious buyers. They're not just looky-loos. They're there because they need to buy a house, and they need to buy a house within a reasonable time frame. So that's a really good reason to put your house on the market, because you're beating out other competition that are waiting to do that in January. If you wait to put your house on January after the holidays, there's going to be a lot of people doing that at the same time, and you don't know how many people might, and it might affect the way that your house is sold. So try to get around from that. The other couple of things to think about is you are more likely to get terms that work in your favor. So like if you put your house on the market, I'm saying like in November or December, and you're really trying to move in January, February, maybe even March, you might be able to work with buyers at that point that are willing to give you the time that you need to move. So you could do a longer closing and close on more of your time frames, but get your buyer locked in now so you could focus your time on your future and not worrying about how am I going to sell my house that's already taken care of for you.
That'd be nice.
Okay, a couple other things to could think about is if you are going to do stuff, if you are going to put your house up during the holiday season, one of the things you should do is get your photo shot before you start holiday decorating, right? So right before you do your holiday decorating, usually a lot of people like clean up their house and get it tidied up for the holidays and family gatherings and stuff.
True.
That's a perfect time right before you put on your decorations to bring in the professional photographers, get the house shot and the photography and the video, and then you can decorate and go crazy on your holiday stuff, and you don't have to worry that your house looks weird in the photos.
As a matter
right?
of fact, you might, because some people will take down stuff before you put up the themed stuff, and so that's the time to do it because it's going to look a little bit decluttered.
Yeah,
maybe,
it's going to
right?
look decluttered, clean, ready to go, and then you can max out of your house for your decorations, and it won't affect the sale of the house as far as the photos and the presentation. They're seeing the house in the, if you will, non-holiday mode, right? And then that way you can knock yourself out with the holidays and don't worry about it. If people come over and they see your, you're
decorated,
all your decorations and stuff, it won't matter because they see what the house looks like when it is in a more pristine condition, if you will, or decluttered position. So if you are going to put it on in the market, think about that before you start holiday decorating.
Is there any risk of having like offensive decorations when you're showing your house, or should you know what I mean? Like just Halloween in general, pumpkins.
I don't know about. Every time you think about that, I think of this one guy that
the football.
No,
like
he
the
had
sports...
the stuff like he had stuff in his house that said things like this house is clothing optional and stuff like that. He had all that stuff around the house, and then families would come over and look at the house, and like, you got to take that stuff down. It's like it's
mirrors on the ceilings. I thought you had the one guy who had like sport, some college football decor inside the house, like everywhere. Or something
that was the Dolphin guy.
Oh,
the Dolphin Jets guy.
Okay.
So my guy was a huge Dolphin fan. I was the buyer's agent. We walk into this house in Lake Worth, and when my guy was wearing a Dolphins hat, right? And when the owner opened up the door, this is why owners shouldn't be there for the showings, right? When the owner opened the door, nope. He looked and he goes, I guess I'll let you in. Not hello or anything, right? I go, hi, I'm Jim. I'm the realtor. This is my buyer. And he goes, I guess I'll let you in. I'm thinking, what an a-hole, right? And we're going and showing the whole house. And then the wife, it was a 2-story house, and the wife on the second story was yelling down. We were inside the house, and she yelled out, make sure you show him the den. He goes, I don't want to show him the den. And she's like, and they're yelling at each other like they're Costanza family on
Typical
Seinfeld,
Jens
right?
fans, right?
And she goes, just show him the den. So we walk into the den, and there's a life-size cardboard cutout of Joe Namath throwing a football,
Nice.
and everything in there is Jet stuff, right?
That's awesome.
And so that guy said something to my guy about being the Dolphins, and then my guy didn't want to take it, and then he gave him junk, right, back, like sports fighting. And the next thing you know, I wouldn't sell you my house if you gave me $1 million. So that's how we were leaving the house, was people screaming like that. I wouldn't sell you this house if you gave me $1 million. I wouldn't want to buy your piece of junk. It smells like cigarettes. It's like so bad. It was so bad. So anyway, that's kind of funny.
I think that there's definitely truth to that, like with sports stuff. John, if you walked into a commander's house, would that bother you?
That room would give me.
Just say the house in general.
Vibes.
Like they got the commander's flag when you walk in. They got burgundy and gold.
I'll do the very best I could to imagine it without it.
Yeah.
Be like, it will look better.
Blue and white.
Blue and white.
Yeah.
It could look better. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their choice to make it look like ass.
So if you're thinking about selling early next year, give me a call. Let's map out a plan. Figure out what's best for your house, because every house is different.
Yes.
Right. Every house and every person's situation is different. We'll figure out the best plan so you can get on your way and get your goals met in 2026.
It kind of also like ties in, Jim, with you have a pretty structured plan for taking a listing, your 20-day plan, all of that stuff. But part of what you've talked about through the years is staging and kind of like decluttering and just curb appeal type stuff. And like, are we in that type of market with sellers where like those little things make the difference?
It matters a tremendous amount. And that brings me to the most important upgrade in your house, right?
Oh.
Which it brings up that perfect segue.
Hot wife.
So what is,
Wow.
The one,
Didn't see that coming.
yeah, I didn't see that either. They did it. This real estate group did a study of what's the one upgrade that will get your home sold quicker and at a higher price. And the number one thing that people are looking for when they looking at a house, decide if they're going to buy it or not. What do you guys think it would be?
Bidet.
What do you think?
Pool.
Landscaping.
Backyard actually is up there.
Walk-in closets.
I was going to say backyard, but overall landscaping.
Kitchen. I can't believe you guys.
Some
just said
houses
the
don't come with a
obvious, the
kitchen?
No, having an upgraded kitchen. So what
Really?
they're looking for, yeah. So it doesn't have to be brand new. We're not in this study. It's not like you have a brand new kitchen,
Gotta
but
be a nice
your
kitchen.
kitchen's been upgraded, right?
Functional.
Yeah, it's got a good layout, meaning that it's got that cook's triangle thing where you can go to, your fridge, your stove, or your sink, all in.
Took me back to high school.
I thought you were going to talk about when you renovated your house. I know that.
No, I took in my freshman year in high school, I took a drafting class.
Oh,
and the
taught you
instructor
that?
was old school, and he talked about the triangle, but he called it, and this is early 90s, whatever. He called it the woman's work triangle.
Oh,
That's the way he described it. The woman's work triangle.
The women's work
Right.
triangle. So, so kitchen is the number one things, guys. So now what people are looking for, like updated countertops, not like, Formica countertops. They said in the article stone. So some type of corian or granite or something, quartz, something like that. Updated cabinets and good, not just good, but upgraded appliances. So not just like your basic, maybe you have a stainless steel package and that maybe you have the freezer on the bottom drawer and not just the little tiny freezer at the top or something, or that you have
people like
a
that,
water system and stuff like that.
So.
People look at the fridges and the fridges.
That had is the bottom freezer a popular option?
See, I can't imagine being like, I'm going to buy this house because that's an awesome fridge.
Oh.
Like, that's just crazy.
Right.
Well, no, but
you can just go get that fridge at Home Depot.
No,
I'm going
but
to
what
Rosner's and away we go.
Yeah, but what they think of is that when they're buying the house, they're trying to figure out how much do I have to put into it when I move in right away.
Sure.
And if you're thinking, wow, the AC's good, the water heater's good, right? I'm just making up. and I really don't have to touch the kitchen at all. So then it becomes what's left really: paint, right, which is really easy; flooring, right, which is common for some people,
sure.
and then of course bathroom upgrades, which is almost as evolved as a kitchen.
Yep.
But number one is your kitchen. So if you can make your kitchen look the best it can when you're selling it, it's going to give you the biggest payoff. Now, if AJ was here, AJExperienceAppraisers.com, if he was here, AJ Holman, he would tell you that if you put in a $25,000 kitchen into your house, it doesn't increase your value of your home by $25,000. So don't think that by listening to me, you should go run out and put a brand new kitchen in before you sell your house.
No, you're
That
talking
might
about,
not be
you're
the
talking
smart.
about appeal from a buyer. These are the things that the buyer looks at and goes, I like this.
So
But I
the
think
reason,
that to that point, you don't remodel your kitchen just before you list it,
no,
right?
because
But you might have spent $25,000 5 years ago to
and
remodel
that's
your
a
kitchen,
great,
and you're
that
getting
was a
that
good
return on
value,
investment. Then.
and that's
Yeah.
a good value. But to do it now, you're not probably going to make your money back. So what you should know is, if you have an upgraded kitchen,
You're in good shape.
you might be able to get a little bit more money from a buyer, all things else being equal. And if you have an inferior kitchen that needs the heavy lifting, right? Maybe you don't put your house on the market as high, because a lot of buyers are going to say, I don't want it. I'm going to have to put $15,000 into this kitchen. I'll go buy the house down the street.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep that in mind. So I just thought that was kind of interesting about upgrades.
Even if it's not a little bit more, your house may be the one that moves versus continuing to sit on the market. You get a little bit of nibbles, but the real offers will come in on the ones, and again, maybe not realistically more than you're asking, but get what you're asking and get like real legit offers.
It could be as simple like the edge is simply that you got a nice photo of a kitchen on your listing. Like that might just get more people over to your house.
Might come over there.
Yeah.
And I've been just talking about the market in general. I've been I'm starting to look for a home. I'm going to buy something next spring. So I started looking I thought I was going to buy this year, and then some things changed. So I'm going to buy this spring. And what happened was, when I was looking this year, Mike, and I was looking at a bunch of stuff, because of course I'm going to use Mike Ralph and the mortgage firm for the mortgage. But
fingers crossed.
When I was looking at everything back then, I'm looking for like a 3-2 with a pool, basically, and within certain cities, right? So about 6 months to 8 months ago, everything was 550 to 650, what I was looking for.
Yeah.
And I went and I looked through like 70 properties yesterday, because there's like 140 properties that are in my criteria. And I always only get to like 50 to 70 and I give up. And then I don't look at it again. I have to go back. Yeah.
Jim counts houses instead of counting sheep, right? To fall asleep.
But what I was really surprised about is a lot of things that were in the 550 to 650 are now 575 to 525. And there's a surprising amount of 4s for 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single family home pool homes in the 4s in Palm Beach County.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not seeing that. You haven't seen that in a while. So we're definitely seeing.
You mentioned a listing earlier in the show, a pool home.
Exactly. In Port St. Lucie. Yep. No, that one's not a pool home. That Sunset Drive is not pool, but
I thought it was.
Cloverleaf,
but it's very close to the lake.
And Port St. Lucie is got the pool home, and that we're asking $250 for that one. So the thing is that I'm seeing the prices change, even though the prices on the on the Florida Realtors Association monthly report, we're not seeing the changes in there that I'm seeing neighborhood to neighborhood. And the other thing I'm really seeing is not just the Palm Beach County property appraiser, but a lot of the property appraisers down here. I was in a neighborhood, I was looking competent in a neighborhood last week. So in 2021, they had like a 32% or 20% increase in the neighborhood values.
Okay.
And then the next year it was almost flat. And then 2023 was like -7%.
Ooh.
And this year it's -16.7% for that neighborhood. So the property appraisers have been saying over the last couple of years that this particular neighborhood has been going down in value, in assessed value. So the tax bill should be lower if they don't raise the taxes. We'll get into that next week. But what's interesting about that is that I'm actually seeing it to be a very good time to be a buyer. I'm a buyer too, right? And I'm kind of selective. Obviously, I have education, so I'm really seeing changes out there. And if I weren't, I'd be telling you, because I'm a consumer too right now. So it's really a good time to buy.
Inventory taking up even more?
No, the inventory is actually still shrinking, and that's because a lot of people are just pulling their houses off the market because we're not seeing stronger sales. So what's happening is the real sellers are hanging tough,
motivated
and they're
too.
there and they're motivated. And then the ones that were kind of like, well, if I can get the price I want, I'm ready to do it. Or the ones that were serious about selling, but then when they went to look outside of what they could buy, then they're like, nah, I'm not doing it, and they pull it off.
It's also a really good example. So 2 people in this room are prospective buyers, and you're both doing what we encourage people to do, which is get your finance, get the mortgage part of it lined up, get access to some tools so that you can do some analysis. You're like on some sort of drip for looking at homes that, meet your criteria. Jim, you've narrowed it down to specific neighborhoods even. Johnny, you may have done the same thing. And so you're just waiting for the stars to align. Like you said, I'm probably going to be moving next spring, but you made an offer on a home, last week, which means something was right about that, where you're like, okay, you know what, if I'm a buyer, I'm just waiting for stars to align. And if the right one comes across my desk, I'm going to make an offer on it. Now, I don't think that went anywhere, but that's okay. You gave it a crack.
Right, we gave it a shot, and we'll just wait for the next one to come along. And if it isn't the right one, I'm just going to move on right now, because you don't have to feel pressure that you have to do that deal like it was like after COVID.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where everything is like, you just felt so pressured. If you needed a house, you got to do something right then.
And at the very least, you're just really getting a good sense of the criteria. The house has to fit certain criteria. The numbers have to fit certain criteria. And if you can find that combination, then you're ready to rock and roll.
Right.
Right.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that's what we encourage people to do.
So I'm kind of glad I waited, because I feel like I'm going to save like $50,000 or more on the house I'm going to buy compared to where I was 8 years ago. I mean, 8 months ago, 8 years, 8 months ago or 6 months ago. Think about that, $50,000 difference in 8 months. Right.
Yeah. And it's also, you're not like intentionally waiting for some thing to happen in the market. You have your finger on the pulse of the market, and when the right, opportunity presents itself. Yeah.
So if you're thinking of buying, give us a call. We're here to help you with all of that.
FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. And if you'd like to make that call, the hotline's there for you. 888-973-7828. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. You'll find, again, the hotline on the upper corner, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
I want to round out the show. I think this is going to round out the show with something that I don't want to get too involved in politics, especially today, because it's going to be a very particularly intense day, I think. With
who are you voting for in that New York?
Exactly, the New York thing.
Yeah.
But man, I got to tell you though, that debate, what a mess. Between all three of them, it's like,
I didn't watch it.
Oh my God, it's like I feel bad for New York.
I'm really not interested in what's happening.
But anyway,
New York,
New York, it's like we got enough problems.
It's the city. Like this is a mayoral race.
But I don't want to get into politics about this, but I do want to talk about the repercussions of what's happening in the politics and how it affects us in real estate in the real world. So I asked Mike yesterday, and I'm going to ask Ross live on the air today. Are there anything happening with the government shutdown that is affecting anything as far as trying to close loans or get a loan or get insurance or anything like that? Are you experiencing anything, Ross, with government shutdown, or is it not a factor in your industry right now?
The only thing is we can't really do flood, the NFIP, FEMA flood. But that's okay. We've got private flood.
Oh,
you can't even write those policies right now? Or you can't like make a claim.
So we couldn't make changes. It's just because it's not funded. It's part of the funding.
So what does that mean? So like if you get the private flood insurance, let's say you're required to have flood insurance. So then let's say these are the people that have to have it, right? So and you're getting a loan, right? So you have to have the flood insurance. If the national flood insurance thing is available, you said there's private flood insurance. Is there a big difference in the price?
I mean, we do a lot of private flood.
All the time?
I mean, we do a lot of it. I mean, yeah. So
is
it's
more
just
expensive than
no.
Oftentimes
it's cheaper.
Oh, it's
yeah. So we check. Hey, we check the private markets. We check, FEMA. and then we
so it
provide the
isn't
best
really
quote.
impacting in a negative
No.
way at all. It's
Well, I
just
mean,
that,
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. It's not going to hold us up or anything.
right.
Now, if somebody was relying on FEMA to do something for them at this point, that would be a problem, right? If they had a flood claim, if
Yeah.
there was a flood, rising waters incident, right? Because FEMA, all of that is they're shut
Oh,
down.
I don't know the claim side or how that affects.
I would
Yeah.
think that I would agree with you, Mike.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
But I mean, those are old policies that they've already underwritten for.
Right.
So
Right.
Right.
So with you, Mike, are you experiencing as a mortgage broker?
So
I'm sorry, a loan officer.
Yeah,
call you
loan
mortgage
originator.
broker. Sorry, loan originator.
Loan officer's old school.
Okay,
title, yes.
originator, loan originator. So, and let me just tell the difference between that, just because we're joking around about it, just to let you know. The difference between going to the mortgage firm with Mike and going to a mortgage broker is a mortgage broker that company does not cut the check. The one that cuts the check is the direct lender. That's where Mike works, where his company's cutting the check.
Yeah. So
And,
everything,
and they're
everything
also
is
doing
done
all the
in-house.
underwriting.
Right.
Everything's done in-house. He has
Right.
direct access to people he works with every day. A mortgage broker, they're going to shop that loan around to as many mortgage companies as they're connected to, the lenders that they're connected to, and they might not have great relationships. I'm dealing a deal right now that we're having big problems with because this guy is this mortgage
They're trying to figure it
broker.
out on the fly.
Yeah, and they really didn't. It's a very difficult loan to get, and they're having big problems with it. And they've never worked with the company they're working with before, and it's turned into a big fat mess. If it was like we tried to get that same person over to Mike a million times, we would not have the problems we're having now if they just went to Mike. So there's a big difference between a direct lender and a mortgage broker. But anyway, getting back to that.
Okay.
How is the government shutdown affecting your industry, if at all?
Yeah, it really hasn't affected like day-to-day stuff, but there are things with the IRS that could impact your ability to close and may cause delays. And that has to do with, number one, are you waiting for tax returns to be processed for some reason? Maybe you're self-employed, maybe you just filed, right? We just had the October deadline for corporate filings. Some of those may be required to, as part of your approval, like you need that filed return. If that hasn't happened, which is, it's not being processed right now, that could impact your ability. The other one is just pulling transcripts in general with the IRS. So most of the time, transcripts are desired, not required to get your loan approved, but desired, and the ability to pull those transcripts. And so that's still happening. That process is happening, but it requires these days it requires user they have to be involved in it. They have to set up security things. There's this whole ID.me. It's a big pain to do, from a getting your account set up standpoint.
It's not that bad. It's pretty easy.
Not that bad, Johnny,
Yeah.
but it depends on how comfortable you are with technology.
True. Yeah.
right?
I had to set one up. It's pretty easy.
Yeah,
though.
and
And
it-
it's
I-
all right on your phone.
For me, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
It's, a couple minutes and it's done.
It would be
But
bad for me.
if I gave it to my dad, he would be smashing his phone.
Yeah,
right. It'd be
that would be
thrown
me.
against the wall.
I'm
Right?
Mike's dad.
Why does he need
So,
that?
but Mike, let me just backtrack a little bit. What are transcripts, and why do sometimes lenders or underwriters ask for them?
So let's just say that a tax return is required for your approval, right? They're usually that's self-employed borrowers. Sometimes people who are W-2s, maybe you need the tax returns. So you provide us a copy of your tax return, right? Your 1040, you fill it out. That's what gets sent to the IRS, mostly e-filed, whatever. So you provide that copy. What we do is we pull transcripts directly from the IRS. And the idea is to make sure that the IRS's record of your return matches the return that you supplied as part of your loan application.
Right. I actually just had one recently where the transcripts did not reflect what was in what they reported.
And sometimes you'll see that. Sometimes the IRS makes changes. They're like, oh, you made an error on your filing, so we've adjusted this. Sometimes your return was amended after the fact and you gave us the draft copy instead of the final copy. I guess sometimes, rarely, people are trying to, represent something other than to us differently than what they represented to the IRS. So the transcripts are there to basically verify that the copy of the return we have in the file is accurate.
So if the underwriter requires that the transcripts be produced and you got to get them to the IRS and the IRS is shut down, basically you're shut down too. You can't do anything to satisfy the underwriter until the IRS gives you the transcripts that you requested.
And there'll be no, like, it's an automated system, so it's still happening. But if there's some problem or something, there's no recourse. You can't do anything. You can't go to the IRS and get it directly. You can't go to the local IRS office. Like, all of that is not happening.
So what happens in real life when that happens, when you can't get the transcripts and you have a date certain to close because you're in contract, the seller can basically say, hey, if you don't close by the date of the contract, we're done, right? And we're going to go find another buyer. Doesn't have to go that way, but it can, and it can create a lot of angst for the buyer, because the buyer's between a rock and a hard place. Hey, I want to buy the house, but the IRS won't give me the documents to prove that I could afford to buy the house.
Yeah, it's rough.
So it can be pretty rough if you have that. So just be very careful. And one of the things I would ask during this government shutdown, if you're talking to a lender, you should be talking to Mike, but you should say, am I going to need, do you think I'm going to need tax transcripts? And is this going to be a problem for me if the government shut down? You should have that conversation now.
And almost every loan you're doing, you're signing a form that transcripts can be pulled, even if they're like W-2 transcripts or 1099 transcripts, but they're not always required to get to the finish line. So that's a very good question to ask, Jim. Is like, hey, are you guys going to need tax transcripts? Are you going to have trouble pulling them?
Right.
Get out in front of that early. Good one.
Yeah, that is a good tip. And
hopefully it doesn't last that much longer. I mean, I don't know what these guys and gals are doing over there, but hopefully it becomes unstuck sooner rather than later.
I think that would probably be
just for that. I mean, there's a lot of employees, uncertain incomes.
Uncertainty is never a good thing.
Yeah. So I think that's it for today, Johnny.
Yeah, we definitely ran the gamut for sure. We covered a lot of things. Go ahead.
Next week we're going to do that condo breakdown of everything that's going in the condo market.
Depends on Paul. We say that
Paul's coming. No, Paul said it was last week in October. So we're going to do that condo thing. I think it's going to be an awesome primer for people thinking about condos anywhere in the country, thinking about buying a Florida condo. And also it'll help sellers selling their condo, understanding what rules and regulations on their particular condo might affect the sale of their property.
Yeah, because there's a lot of nuance and things that you don't even quite realize is involved with the sale of a condo.
That is very true.
Yeah, pretty in depth. Excellent. As always, lots of information to be had next Saturday. And of course, if you're on Florida Talk Real Estate's Facebook page, you're going to see a link there for a GoFundMe page for the kids for the KOMPN. It's exactly what I meant. Knights of Pythagorean Mentoring Network.
Yes,
probably
you got it right. That's
easier
awesome.
for me to just say it that way.
Yes.
This is a passion project for Jim for many, many years. He's had a great connection with not only the kids, but the leadership with the Knights of Pythagorean Mentoring Network. So if you have a few bucks that you can spare to really help these kiddos out, you're really going to be kind of changing their arc on this podcast that they're doing. They're doing a lot of really cool stuff for these kids. So if everybody can just give a couple bucks, we can get to our goal. Find that on the Facebook page, Florida Talk Real Estate. Check out the YouTube page as well. And always remember, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com, your one-stop real estate shop. That's access to the entire team. You got pros, experts in their field, and you get them all one click away. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Like Mike Rao, the mortgage guy from the mortgage firm. I hope you have a great weekend.
You too. Thanks. Everybody enjoy the weather.
Go Cowboys. Give me a go Cowboys on the way out. Come on. Give me some of that one time. Ross Komarinetz with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. I hope you have an excellent weekend, my friend.
Thank you. I hope you do too. Good to see everybody.
Always a pleasure. Come on, Mike. Go Cowboys. One time.
Go Cowboys.
Let's go, Commanders.
Thanks, Ross.
Commanders should do it. Johnny is very confident the Cowboys are going to beat the Commanders.
We got you. Jimmy D, Florida Home Pros. I hope you have an excellent weekend. He's down for the Cowboys to win.
Thank you. Everybody. Happy South Florida.
I encourage you to stick around and enjoy the locker room. Jimothy, you going to enjoy the locker room a little bit?
I will be here. Yep.
My man. Appreciate you. Thanks for all that you do, always.
Thank you, Johnny. Have a great weekend, guys.
Yeah, you too, my brother. And of course, thank you for making this 2-hour infotainment fest part of your every Saturday. It's Florida Talk Real Estate. We've been doing it 13 plus years now, and we get to continue to do it because you guys trust the team.